Today's Black Balloon Day. It gives us an opportunity to stop and remember the lives lost to addiction, a true disease. We call it substance use disorder now because it actually is a disorder. It's in the DSM-5. It's not a choice to go out there and do drugs and gamble on your life. It's a true disease, and it can happen to anybody, anywhere, at any time. So this day, it gives us an opportunity to remember those who have lost their lives, and just to remember that their disease was preventable, and the death was accidental, and that the more that we spread awareness like this, the more that we have an opportunity to save somebody's life. There's treatment centers out there, there's doctors out there, there's all sorts of pharmaceuticals, this, that, and the next thing, supposedly to help our loved ones who are struggling with addiction. But the true person that helps another person is grassroots organizations, also people who have lived experience, who have lived it and survived that battle of addiction. So as much as we want to remember our loved ones who lost their life, I want to thank those who are in recovery, who are out there, helping battle this through your experience and understanding of the disease. So thank you very much for that. I just want to tell you a little bit about the stats in case you didn't know. We had 17 deaths in New Jersey last week from overdose. 17 in New Jersey, not in America, just in New Jersey. We had 17 deaths. And I say this all the time for people who have, seen me speak before. I say, if we had 17 deaths because of a peanut allergy or, a lanternfly bite or something like that, the New Jersey would be going crazy, right? We'd be locked down, and we'd be, going nuts about this. Schools would be closed. Parents would be in an uproar. The 17 kids, 2 of those loved ones were under the age of 14 years old. So it's a true problem. And again, the more we have opportunities like this to spread awareness, just one person here today that goes home and talks to somebody else and spreads that awareness, that's how change happens. So thank you. Thank everybody here for being here. I really appreciate that. We are doing better, I have to say. Back in 2023, we lost 2,573 people in New Jersey to overdose. That's like how many jet planes falling down. DEA will kind of tell you about that because I always get that number from DEA. Right now, last year, 2024, it did go down to 1,803. So we are making a difference. So we have to keep up this battle. We have to keep up this fight. This year alone in New Jersey, we've had 179 of our New Jersey neighbors lost. It's pretty sad. Thankfully, we do have naloxone, Narcan, which has saved thousands of people and given them opportunity, and we'll talk a little bit about that later on in the program. Right now, I just want to take a moment of silence. I want to remember those who have lost their lives to that preventable accidental disease. I want to remember their families who have to suffer the pain, but we want them to know that it's not in vain, that their death is helping somebody else. And I have a very close friend here, Hank, who did lose his son to this horrible disease. And he and his family have started an organization called the Rubber Ducky Organization. And the work they do is amazing. I get calls from Hank, all year round. I ran into this person, I ran into this young lady, I ran into this young man, can you help? Their family has taken that horrible pain and has turned it into an organization to go out there and help others. And I can't applaud you enough for doing that. So let's take a moment of silence to remember all of our neighbors who have lost their lives, and a special memory for Hank's son, Matty DeFrance. Thank you. I'd like to ask Mayor Renee Baskerville to come up She has been amazing since we've come into town. Her Mayor's Wellness campaign has really given us a forum to bounce off of and to do our work. We work hard out in the community, outreaching to those who are unhoused, reaching out to those who are struggling with addiction, reaching out to the loved ones who need our support. So I can't thank you enough.
Good evening, everyone. Mr. DeFrance, I'm not sure where you are, but my heart, my prayers are going out to you and your family. I'm sure that you're not the only family here that has gone through this, but anytime we lose even one, it's an awful thing. So I'm lifting your family in love. This addiction problem, it affects all of us. I am proud to be able to stand here with you all. Some of you I've known for a very long time, some not so long. But during the time I've gotten, had good relationships and feel pretty comfortable. Many of us that have conversations, so I feel comfortable saying that we don't have to look out the door to find people that are addicted. We know right in this room. There are people whose families are suffering with addiction. I spoke to someone earlier today. They lost someone that was dear to them through addiction, and I personally have lost a family member who lost the battle with addiction. The beauty is that when people come together in a community, like the community that's here today and puts on these pretty ugly T-shirts. I always think T-shirts are ugly. I mean, white background things, but it doesn't matter. We're here for the right cause, our heart's in the right place, and I'm proud to stand here and wear this T-shirt today. I'm proud to be a part of the team with the Montclair Health Department. I'm proud to be a part of the team of the Essex Health and Wellness Recovery Center. I'm proud to stand with our Montclair firefighters. I'm proud to stand with our Montclair police officers. I'm proud to stand with the Montclair ambulance unit and be a part of this. I know that it's not easy. I know that everyone that I just called out knows what it is that there's nothing I can stand up here and tell you that you all don't know. You've lived through it. You've been in the parks and you've picked people up. You've run over with your Narcan and you've helped them. So we're all in this together. And it doesn't matter whether you're rich or have a lot of money or you don't have much money. It doesn't matter whether you're black, you're white, you're Asian, Native American, whatever. Addiction knows no boundaries. Doesn't care if you're living in 07042 or 07043. A lot of times people have these images in their mind and they say, oh yes, we know it's going on down in Glenfield Park. We need to dispel that myth. It could be going on right in this room. People in this room may have recovered, and God bless you if you did. We need to be celebrating you if anyone did that. That is something to be celebrated. And we need to lose the stigma, and we need to help people to understand it's everybody. So for every person somebody tells you, yep, down there in Glenfield Park, we could tell them about the ones in Anderson Park. It doesn't matter. This is an addiction. It's all of our problems, and we all have to take ownership. And I am committed to continue to do that. I thank you guys for being here and for agreeing to participate. And I want you to join me in committing yourselves to fighting the stigma. That's so important. There's no shame in being addicted. And when people lose their lives, they lose their lives, and it hurts. It hurts whether they lose their life with a heart condition or whether they lose their life with opioids. And it doesn't matter to me. And I'm sure it doesn't matter to you. When someone's gone, they're gone. So let's get out here. Let's double our efforts to combat this. Let's make sure that we have more people visible in the community that are standing up and allowing people to talk about it. People should be able to talk about it. They come up and they tell you all about their asthma. If they're going through something, a lot of times, especially our officers that are in situations like fire and police, they might start out, hurt their leg on the job and start taking some opioids. And before you know it, it's a cycle. So let's assure everybody, no stigma. We're all in this together. I love you guys. Thank you. And let's get out here and do it. Let's kick its behind. Take
Well, I don't know about you, but I think she looks darn good in that T-shirt. Just saying. All right, before we move forward, I'm going to ask Minister Vince to come up and say a couple words of prayer.
Good evening, everyone. Oh, great Creator, we thank you for your presence. We know your love is here. We thank you for giving us an opportunity to heal with one another. We thank you so much. Healing is needed. And we thank you for your presence and your love. Thank you.
Up next, we have the United States Drug Enforcement Administration. The DEA of New Jersey has been so supportive of our efforts since we started back in 2018. We always think of the DEA going out there, taking drugs off the street. They do so much more than that. And their support has meant so much to us, and we've learned so much from them. So we have Agent Strauss, who's going to come up and speak.
All right. Thank you, Robin. Not only does the mayor look great, I think we all look great. I'm thankful for being able to share in this day and have a shirt myself. So thank you, Robin. Thank you to the Essex Health and Wellness Recovery Center, and thank you to the City of Montclair for hosting this event and inviting the Drug Enforcement Administration to stand with you all. It really is a wonderful event. Robin puts on such great events, including the Black Poster Project. But today is Black Balloon Day, and on today and every day for that matter, we remember and we cherish the thousands of lives that were lost way too soon in drug overdosing, drug poisonings. It's out of control. Fentanyl is scary, it's lethal, and it's in our community. And we at the DEA, we stand with you in your grief, and I want you to know that we are there still fighting that fight to save lives each and every day. My name, like Robin said, my name's Pete Strauss. I'm a special agent with the DEA in New Jersey. Main office is in Newark, and back there, that's Joanna. She is fantastic. She's our community outreach specialist, and she's out there every single day with families and community and educators trying to get the word out there. So thank you for having me here and us here to say a few words, give you some statistics that we're seeing and how you can also join in on this fight as well. I have my cheat sheet because there's a lot of numbers that I can't memorize, so I apologize. But obviously one of our main priorities today is fentanyl. It's a synthetic, which means that it's man-made, which also means that it's easy to make, it's cheap, It could be made 365, 24/7. Unlike other drugs that require a certain type of weather, this particular drug, it could be made, like I said, all day, every day, and it's being made in illicit labs down in primarily Mexico, and it's inundating our community. Not only is it highly addictive, but it's highly lethal. 2 milligrams of fentanyl is all it takes to be a lethal dose. So that's the tip of a pencil. I don't know if you could see it in the back. Tip of a pencil to be a lethal dose. And that's all it takes. Yes, it's inundating. We do have some good news to report, at least within not only just America, but in New Jersey as well. 21.7% decrease in fatal drug poisonings between August 2023 and August 2024. That's nationwide. In New Jersey, it's a 31% decrease. Some more good news. For the first time since 2021, DEA has seen a decrease in the potency of fentanyl pills. So in 2023, it was 7 out of 10 pills was a lethal dose. Now, from what we're seeing, 5 out of 10. So still way too much, in my opinion, and in probably everybody's opinion. DEA, we are out there. Calendar year 2024, DEA seized more than 54 million fentanyl pills, 7,500 pounds of fentanyl powder. Overall, that equates to more than 354 million deadly doses of fentanyl. In America, there are 346 million Americans. So do the math. What we seized is more, a surplus. It could kill every American in the United States. So those are some of the numbers that we are seeing on our end. How can you get involved in the fight? We're out there. We're doing our job. We can be doing more, and it's really up to the community. I come to these events all the time. I speak. We try to get the word out. We have billboards. We have campaigns. Joanna has resources up here. Please come feel free afterwards. Speak with Joanna. Take some pamphlets. Operation Prevention is a very useful toolkit to get the word out there. That might be the best way. Having these events, speaking to anybody who will listen. Because even, like Robin said, even just one person, if you speak to them, they might not know about fentanyl, and you could change a life. Drug Take Back Day. DEA started Drug Take Back several years ago. It's actually started here in New Jersey, but now it's nationwide. We do it twice a year, once in October and once in April. So the upcoming one is April 26th is the next Drug Take Back Day. Some statistics from that, a total of 13,016 pounds of unused medication was collected in New Jersey in October of 2024 at 237 collection sites. So we are across the board in this state. And for family or friends who live in other states, please spread the word. Again, we're nationwide. Now with that, I was going to do a closing, but Robin, she said something that I always like to speak about, is what we're seeing is roughly, on average, a plane crash every single day in terms of fentanyl overdosing and poisonings. God forbid, if a plane crash, 300 people die every single day, people wouldn't fly. The FAA would be up in arms. You'd see it all across the media. it would be everywhere. Meanwhile, we are seeing it just in another platform, but we're not getting that media attention that we deserve, that you deserve. And it's striking, and she's right. I always bring up that analogy. Even just last month, we had 2 close call airplanes and 1 devastating airplane with the helicopter, and it hit the news for 2 weeks straight. I pray for those souls as well, but we deserve the airtime as well. So in conclusion, obviously, the one thing that each mom or dad that I talk, each mom or dad that I talk to in these events, they always say, if they knew about fake pills or fentanyl earlier, to speak to them, to somebody that they love, then maybe they would still be here. And I think about that. And I stand with you in grief. And again, thank you so much for having me. So.
Thank you very much for that. I want to thank very, very much the Department of Health here in town, Amy and her crew. They're amazing. The work that they do and the work that they allow us to do is just fantastic, and we really, really appreciate it. And I know Amy doesn't want to come up and say anything, but she's just fantastic. She just gets it, she cares, and it shows. Look at the room, it shows. So thank you very much. In general, I can go to towns where the mayor, the police department, the fire department, the health department, the schools, they don't want to have any part of this at all. I don't want to talk about it because, we don't do that in our town. It doesn't happen in our town. That big stigma thing is a killer. Montclair is unbelievable. And I'm going to bring up one of the most unbelievable police chiefs in Essex County, because not only do I do a lot of work in Montclair, I do work in all of Essex County, and I blast out an email to every police chief, and I can tell you 3 police chiefs that respond every single time, and Chief Conforti is one of them. He's amazing, and thank you very much for always supporting us.
I want to just echo one thing about our health department. We have the #1 health department, I think, in the county and the state. Amy, the nurses, they do a fantastic job, and they do not get the credit they deserve. Absolutely, I support the health department. But Robin, very kind words. I've been working years with Robin. For those who don't know, Robin does not get enough credit for the work that she does. I can tell you personally and professionally, she truly, truly cares. If we give her a round of applause. So obviously, it's, I don't want to keep going over it, but addiction and substance use disorder does affect everybody, every community. Montclair, unfortunately, is affected as well. I would say years ago, we shifted from more of an enforcement to treatment for those who aren't selling drugs, obviously. But now we have programs like the drug take back that the DA just mentioned. We have a medication drop-off box at headquarters where people could come 24 hours a day, drop off unused medications. We have Operation Hope, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Someone could walk in headquarters and we direct them to get treatment services. I would say this too, long before Robin, and Robin been's outstanding, we had people like Lieutenant Williams who was doing similar work, and Deputy Chief Young, always getting people help. True community leaders, and the police department, I'm fortunate to have people like these 2 men who really care about this community, and I'm proud to work with both of them. Give them a clap. So I have to also state that I could not make any of this possible without my township manager, Mike Lapola, who supports all the programs that we do here, and obviously Mayor Baskerville. So I want to thank you, Mike. Mike, you've been a pleasure to work with. You've been outstanding, allowing us to do what you do. And we couldn't do what we're doing without your support. So thank you for everything you do. And again, thank you, Robin, for everything.
Thank you for the kind words. Lieutenant, Deputy Chief, do you want to come up and say a few words? He did all right? He did all right? Okay. All right, good. I know that retired Officer Garth Guthrie would like to come up and say a couple of words. He and his wife Madeline, when we're out there, they're out there. Like, they kind of taught us a little bit about the streets in Montclair, where the unhoused are, where those who are struggling are, where we should be going on our daily outreaches, and I really appreciate that leadership and showing us the ropes around here.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. How's everyone doing? Good? Thanks for having us here today. As Robin said, we have a program called Reach Out Montclair. That's what pretty much do. And we go around and try to help folks with different situations and needs. And one of the programs we're trying to work with Robin now is program how to help people who are addicted to these different types of drugs. But also I want to thank the mayor and everyone else who are here. All the advocates are here, and also my condolences to family our friends who have lost loved ones. But we just want to say we know that it exists, it's here. We just got to make a difference. We want to let them know the resource, what is out there and what they can use and where they can get their needs be met and everything like that. And we're here to help them in whatever we can do, and before it's too late. And that's all I have to say. It's not going to be no long speech or anything like this. Very simple to the point, and that's it. Let's get them some help.
Thank you. We have the Montclair Ambulance Unit who, again, they deal with all sorts of problems out there, right? Responding to all sorts of medical situations and more. And would like them to come up and talk a little bit about how they're helping out there saving lives through Narcan.
I want to start by thanking Robin, thanking the health department, the mayor and council, and town manager. We couldn't do it without you. Last year we responded to 5,715 total calls within Montclair and surrounding communities. Of those, there were 12 calls where we administered Narcan to patients in the field in Montclair. There were 21 calls total, including those 12 where maybe police department or another first responder or a citizen provided Narcan. The real number I want to talk about is how much we're training people how to administer Narcan. Thanks to the grant funding from the opioid settlement funds through Montclair Health Department, we've trained over 400 people last year on how to administer Narcan. 280 of those were direct Narcan classes where they received Narcan at the end of the day and they went home with it. And we had one event where that person then used the Narcan on a call we went to before we got there. And then the remaining number of that 400, those were added on for CPR classes. We additionally taught Narcan at the end of those CPR classes. So when we talk about where we make a difference, get educated, know how to use Narcan. We can provide training and the Narcan itself for free as part of grant funding. Or if you didn't want to come to us, you can get it now at any pharmacy, essentially. That's how you get involved from our perspective. Know how to save somebody's life. Thank you.
Thank you for that. So we're going to have two more speakers. I'm saving the best for the last because it's my team. Thank you for all the kind words, but I can't do this alone. Obviously, the health department with the grant funding that we received is huge, but I could have all the money in my hands that I want. If I don't have a team behind me, it's not going to work. And I've got the greatest team out there. I love them. I've got Tim, and I've got Vince, and I've got Chris, and I've got Johnny. They're like amazing. They deal with my old age compared to how young they are, and it's just so much fun. But I'm going to ask Johnny to come up. He's going to talk a little bit about lived experience, just to give a perspective of lived experience.
How's everybody doing? My name is Johnny, and I'm a person in recovery. Um, Basically, a little history of me, about me. Like Robin said, addiction isn't a choice, right? I was born addicted. My mother used heroin through her pregnancy with me. So it was like doomed from the womb, right? Um, you know, most of my addiction was with opiates, heroin, and then, the last couple years of my addiction, the fentanyl came out. And I never overdosed until fentanyl. Never overdosed on heroin, any other pills. It was fentanyl that I overdosed, and I think it was 4 times. And the one time, the people I was with left, and by the grace of God, I came out of it. The next times I was Narcan. Narcan, it really does make a difference. It really does, and like throughout my addiction, like a couple years ago, I'd be looking for the closest door. Now like police and DEA are allies of mine. It took me to some really dark places, institutions, years of incarceration. Like just the places that I never imagined I would be. But there's help. There's help. Like whether it's MAT, Suboxone, Methadone, Sublocade, there's help out there. And I just like this whole addiction thing is like it means so much to me. My family, friends, I got people out there still, that I went to high school with. They're on McCarter Highway with signs, and now they're dealing with this xylazine. It's an animal anesthetic that they're putting with the fentanyl. I've seen wounds from xylazine infections that were down to the bone. Like this is a serious, like this is a crisis. This is a real crisis, and like we need more people like in this field, especially recovering addicts. I work with Robin, like she said. I'm a certified peer recovery specialist. I use my experience, strength, and hope to help others, to give hope, that there is a way out of this, like the opiate addiction, like when you're going through withdrawal, the desperation to not feel like that, it brings you to do some things like you never think you would do. And there's nothing that could help that except opiates, and that's a big, like, the withdrawal is a major barrier with people going to go get help because they don't want to be sick. Like, oh, I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna be sick. Like, that's a big barrier, and what I know with my experience with the Narcan puts you in like withdrawal, a real bad withdrawal, and like if they don't get help, they're gonna go right back, and like it's just we gotta spread this awareness, we gotta spread this awareness, and it's everywhere. It's everywhere. I grew up at the bottom part of Bloomfield Avenue. I'm from North, but it's up here too. It's up in the upper Bloomfield Avenue too. It definitely is. You know, I'm so happy. You know, I didn't expect this many people. You know, but like I said, we need more help in this field, and we need to spread the awareness about opiate addiction. That's all I got, guys.
Let's give Johnny another round of applause. Every day he walks into that office, I just look at him like it's a miracle, it's amazing, and I'm so fortunate, and he's so fortunate, his family's so fortunate, and what he's doing for others is incredible. Thank you. So our last speaker, and then if anybody else that I forgot or wants to come up and say a few words, we'd love to hear from anybody else. But our last speaker, who was one of my first CPRSs, Certified Peer Recovery Specialists, to really start working with me. Back in 2018, when I retired from the schools and I started working in Essex County, he came up to me at a meeting, told me his story, told me what he wanted to do and his thoughts, and you know, I said, we're going to work together one day. It's going to happen. And, you know, we went through a bunch of years doing things here and there. And now, you know, he's my sidekick. And I just, you know, I appreciate every single thing you do, Chris. And he's going to come up and talk a little bit about our program.
Wow, that's a lot of people. Sitting in the back, I couldn't really tell. But it's good to see all these beautiful faces. And good afternoon and welcome to the Black Balloon Day. I'd like to thank everyone for coming and everyone who have made this day possible. Thank you to Mayor Baskerville and her staff. Thank you to the Montclair Health Department. Once again, my name is Christopher McAllister, and I'm a certified peer recovery specialist. And I work with Robin for the Essex Health and Wellness Center, Recovery Center. My role as a recovery specialist is to help people in recovery reach their individual goals and to maintain their sobriety. I meet people where they're at in their recovery process and provide them with the resources necessary to achieve success. Here at the Essex Health and Wellness Center, we provide prevention, intervention, treatment, and recovery support groups. We have several support groups and programs designed to help people achieve their maximum in their recovery process. We also go out and provide care packages for the unhoused, providing food, clothes, and giving them a place to go for treatment. Looking forward, we are going to continue to help to have our events, initiatives such as the Opioid Fentanyl Awareness Conference, International Overdose Awareness Day, the Black Poster Project, as well as the Red Ribbon Week. We are also excited to partner with the Montclair Ambulance Unit. We will be sending out peer recovery specialists on calls with the ambulance unit so we can provide immediate support to Montclair residents who may have issues with substance abuse. Yeah, I'm finished. Thanks again for everybody coming.
Chris does all that and more. Does anybody want to come up and say a few words? Anybody have anything they want to say? You're welcome to come on up. Come on up. Don't be shy.
My mouth is a lot of dry. But what I want to say is, even though we have first response and nurses and everything, I work for the Real House, and that's a shelter. I saved 10 lives through Novocaine, and sometimes before the ambulance get there, I'm already ongoing with them. So I think we need some support too, you know, as far as working with these ladies who come to us as far as on, you know, drugs and different things. You never know. I had a lady last week
who OD'd on me twice on fentanyl. And when I took her urine, that's how I found out. When, I thought she was clean and everything like that. So at the end of the day, thank everyone, with the process, but working in the Real House and working with the shelters, with the ladies that you're there 7 days a week, sometimes 8, 9 days, 10 days a week or whatever. It's a lot for us also too. I just, want us to be acknowledged also that we are hands-on with these women also. Thank you.
And I'm glad you came up and spoke, because you're 100% right. There are some amazing programs out there as far as shelters, halfway houses, treatment programs. Then there's some that are all a bunch of money makers, and they're bringing, people who are struggling with this horrible disease in, and it's all about insurance. It's all about, having 21-year-old interns working the program because they're cheaper to pay. But, Real House, I've heard wonderful, wonderful things about Real House. Real House is one of the places that we go out to an outreach to every week. We drop off T-shirts or a treat or different things. And know that the health department is here for you as well. If you need anything, we're here for you. Like Chris said, you need help with anything. Our certified peer recovery specialists, myself, our CADCs, our counselors, they're here to give, and we're not worried if you have insurance, if you don't have insurance. We're not worried about what's going on. There's no judgment. There's no stigma in our room. So feel free to contact us. Sandra knows how to get in touch with us. Reach out. We are here for you, ladies. And we wish you the best. And again, thank you for coming up and speaking. Anybody else? Anybody else want to come on up? All right. So we're just, Vince? Okay. All right. Thank you. Yes, we have our next event is the Black Poster Project. The Black Poster Project is a travel and exhibit that really depicts the heartbreak of this fentanyl poisoning that we're seeing out there. It's a silent memorial. It's black posters of close to 1,000 people that have been lost to addiction. And we're holding it at St. Mark's Church on Elm Street. And we have, a handful of Essex County loved ones who will, their poster will be in it. And we'd love for you to come out. I'm looking at this room. If everybody could commit to coming out April 3rd, it's going to be running from 10 in the morning until 7 at night. And we're going to have a presentation at 12 in the afternoon for people that can make it then, and a presentation at 6 o'clock at night. We're hoping to get the students at the high school. We've been bombarding the high school with emails telling them about it. We'll help with transportation, whatever they need. We think it's really important to get the students out. Next year, we're hoping to hold it at Montclair State University. Lovely ladies from Real House, you want to volunteer and help us? We're going to need help that day. We'd love for you to come out and help us. Yes, that Pastor Kay, she's been kind enough to open her doors for us to hold the Black Poster Project, and thank you for that. Because again, with that stigma, that Mayor was talking about earlier, and pretty much everybody else brought it up, some people wouldn't open their doors to this project. So yes, thank you. Thanks, Vince. Appreciate that. Okay, so we're going to ask Tim to come up and do a closing prayer for us. And Tim's one of our certified alcohol and drug counselors. He does amazing work with our clients.
Real quick, if I could, just before I close in prayer, I just want to say something as far as the treatment end of it. So, as Robin said, I'm a certified drug and alcohol counselor and a certified Christian counselor. I went to my first AA meeting in 1981 in Norfolk, Virginia. Uncle Sam sent me there. I'm a veteran. And while I was there reading the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, it told me that I had a spiritual malady, okay, and so, which requires a spiritual solution, okay, and some of the verbiage that AA and NA uses is primarily in steps 2 and 3, the God of your understanding, right, because Bill W., when he wrote the big book, he didn't want to exclude the atheist, right, so that's real important, the spiritual component. And I know there's a lot of people in this room with different faiths, and that's okay, that's good. So I encourage people to make that work for you in your recovery. Like incorporate that in your recovery. And I came up with a phrase when I was in East Orange, and they put it on the board. It says, the more intimate your relationship is with the God of your understanding, the better your life will be. So, all right. So, thanks again, Robin. So let's just close out in a word. Thank you, Father, for this day, for bringing everyone here. I just pray that you can use us as your vessels in the surrounding community and to the ends of the earth, Lord God, to do your work and to make people aware of addiction and the fentanyl, the opioid use disorders, Lord God, to help save them, and but more importantly, God, to lead them to you as they understand in a relationship to you, Lord God, so that will make their life complete and better, Lord God. Amen. Thank you, guys.
All right, so that's our conclusion. Thank you, everybody. If I missed anybody or I missed to thank anybody or say anything that was meaningful, I apologize. It's just, I always have these notes and I just never use them and just kind of go off the top of my head. But I really appreciate every single one of you. I mean, you guys know, everybody here, they know how much you mean to me and that I could not do this alone. And I just, from the deepest, bottom of my heart, I thank everybody. And I hope to see everybody April 3rd, if not before. Thank you. Somebody's phone.